The engine was still running. A black SUV, glossy as oil, idled at the curb in front of my house. Its headlights spilled across the driveway like a silent accusation. I knew the license plate wasn't from here. Too new, too expensive. Through the tinted glass, I saw her, my wife, leaning forward in the passenger seat, her face lit by the glow of the dashboard. She was smiling. The kind of smile I hadn't seen in years. The kind of smile you give someone you want to keep. Next to her sat a man I didn't recognize. The way his arm brushed hers was casual, too casual. When I stepped closer, the driver's door opened. Two men, big, heavy-set, the kind of muscle you rent, not befriend, stepped out, blocking my path. "You're not going inside," one said. The driver leaned over her, smirking at me through the open window. "Your wife's with me now," he said. "We packed her things and came to put you in the hospital." I looked at him, then at her. She didn't meet my eyes. I smiled, just enough for him to notice. "Her betrayal was her choice," I said softly. "But bringing them," I nodded toward his hired muscle, "was your mistake." 3 weeks earlier, it had been a text message, not to me. A mistake, maybe, or arrogance. It wasn't long, just a name and an address I didn't know. When I'd asked her about it, she brushed it off, laughed even, said it was for a work client. But her eyes had darted to her phone before she spoke, like she needed to confirm her own lie. That was the first crack. She began working late, long showers after she came home. Her phone, once left face up on the table, now lived in her hand like a limb she couldn't lose. I didn't accuse, I didn't shout, I just watched. The details built themselves. The faint cologne on her blouse, the hotel charges buried in the credit card statement, the sudden girls' trips with no photos to show. And she never noticed me noticing. I started with the small things. Her schedule, her calls, the way she typed faster when I entered the room. I copied down phone numbers she didn't save under names, just strings of digits. I ran them through a private database. The SUV's owner had a name. He owned a small chain of gyms 2 towns over. Divorced. Rich enough to throw money around. One night, when she left her laptop open, I found the email thread. It wasn't explicit, not yet, but the tone was unmistakable. Private dinners, our spot, promises about soon. Still, I didn't confront her. I wanted certainty. So I hired someone, not to follow her, but to follow him. And in the grainy photos I received a week later, there they were, her head resting against his shoulder in a cafe, his hand on her thigh under the table. I didn't feel anger. I felt precision. Every lie she told after that was a tool I could use. When the final piece came in, it was almost anticlimactic. A short video, time-stamped 2 nights earlier. The SUV in a parking lot. She in the passenger seat, leaning across to kiss him. I downloaded it, saved it to my phone. Then I sat at the kitchen table until she came home. She walked in, damp from another late shower, and said something about traffic. I didn't respond. I slid my phone across the table. The video looped silently between us, her face drained of color. "I can explain—" "You already did," I cut in. My voice was calm, detached. "That's why I know what comes next." She didn't ask what I meant. Maybe she already knew. Which brings us back to the driveway. The thugs thought they had the upper hand. They stepped toward me, shoulders squared, like they'd already decided what I'd look like on the ground. I let them. The first one reached for my arm, then froze when the cruiser pulled up behind the SUV, lights flashing. The officer stepped out. Not just any officer. A friend I'd known since school. We'd spoken yesterday. He'd seen the video, and he'd been waiting for my call. Within minutes, the thugs were in cuffs for outstanding warrants my investigator had dug up. The SUV's driver, her lover, was told his vehicle matched the description from a hit and run 3 towns over. And her? She stood there, arms wrapped around herself, watching her new life dissolve in real time. I didn't touch her, didn't speak to her. I just stepped past, into my house. I left her suitcase on the porch the next morning. She didn't knock, she didn't call. Inside, the house was quiet in a way I hadn't realized I'd missed. People think betrayal burns, but for me, it was the opposite. It cooled something inside me, turned noise into silence. When I closed the door, I knew I'd never see her again. Her face, frozen in that moment of realization, of understanding exactly how completely she'd lost, was all the closure I'd ever need. Some betrayals you mourn, others you bury, and I bury deep.